Good evening, I'm Lisa Broom with the Monday, July 29th edition of the CBC Evening News. In our top story, financial aid from the Ministry of Education, Science, Technology and Innovation is on its way to some students wanting to attend the University of the West Indies Capehill campus. As announced 2 weeks ago by Education Minister Ronald Jones, 3,000 bursaries are available and forms are ready for distribution. This after government introduced tuition fees ranging from over $3,000 to $9,000 per semester. Several students turned up this morning at the ministry hoping to apply.
Well, I felt kind of scared because, there's a large amount of money to be paid, but with God, all things are possible, so I will be able to be. And since I got this, I'll be successful now.
Well, I know that government, they're trying now to see what could be done, but I still believe that education should be not free. It's not free. Tax, as we always pay for, through your taxes, and I think that they should go back to the whole process. But we're still thankful for the start.
Right now, it's not ready for me. It's for my daughter, and I still isn't sure exactly how much money she have to pay, and she's in her last year right now. So I appreciate any help I could get right now.
I started last year, but I didn't know that there would be fees implemented from September coming. So it's a bit hard, but I guess you have to find something because I want to complete my degree. So got to find all the different options. So like the bursary form, if you need to take a loan or stuff like that, but I really like to finish.
Minister of the Environment and Drainage, Dr. Dennis Lowe, has cleared the air about the operations of the Sustainable Barbados Recycling Centre. He says the system is doing a tremendous job and saving government huge sums of money.
If the full 1,000 tons of waste go to a landfill, it means that the lifespan of the landfill would be reduced to about 2 years, 2.5 years at most. And it just cost the government $26 million to build Cell 4 at Barclays. So when you put SBRC into its fullest context, it is doing a number of things for the country that are no cost to the country, but cost saving to the country.
Dr. Lowe says the SBRC is now diverting 70% of waste from the landfill. And he says to say that it is taking the recyclable material and selling it for profit is untrue.
Contractually, all funds generated from the SBRC operation are shared 50% to the government and 50% to the operators of that system there. So I think the public needs to understand that what we're trying to do is to have a visionary policy that looks at the whole issue of sustainability within the context of the management of waste and trying to create for Barbados a system that will serve generations to come.
Prime Minister Fendel Stewart is appealing to Japan to help Barbados and the region with plans for economic recovery. His call came at the first ever CARICOM Japan Summit held yesterday in Trinidad and Tobago. Prime Minister Stewart urged Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe to consider helping CARICOM countries in critical areas. These include increasing access to concessional financing, establishing international advocacy on the CARICOM debt issue, and creating alliances with new development partners. Mr. Stewart also wants Japan to help CARICOM advocate for more innovative financing and provide assistance in mobilizing private sector resources for financing infrastructure. Mr. Abe, on the other hand, recognizes Barbados' leading role in small island developing states matters and acknowledged the need to consider vulnerabilities in dealing with their access to international financing. Barbados and Japan are also to continue negotiations on a double taxation treaty. And the Caribbean Development Bank, Japan International Cooperation Agency, and the Inter-American Development Bank will be working closely to transform the energy landscape in the Eastern Caribbean. The agencies will support the efforts of Eastern Caribbean states to tackle high energy costs and reduce dependence on fossil fuel-generated energy. That's according to Nigel Romano, Acting Vice President of Operations at the CDB. He says it forms part of the bank's development financing and technical assistance to its borrowing member countries, or BMCs.
Reducing poverty through inclusive and sustainable social and economic growth and building resilience to external shocks and natural hazard events underpin all of CDB's development financing and technical assistance to our borrowing member countries. Within that broad framework, the bank has been intensifying its focus on renewable energy and energy efficiency.
The signing of the Memorandum of Cooperation took place at the first CARICOM Japan Summit. In other news now, serious consideration is being given to including the church in the full social partnership. That's been revealed by Labour Minister Senator Dr. Esther Bayasuku. According to her, it's a concept that could work to get the message across to the masses regarding developments concerning government, the labour unions and the private sector.
If it is about engaging and about getting the buy-in of our people on matters that go way beyond economy, then we may have to look at other structures for engaging our people. If we're talking about engaging our people in healthy lifestyles, we know our churches have taken up that mantle. When it comes to HIV and the fight against HIV, our churches have taken up that mantle. Is it necessary to bring them into the full social partnership so that they can do this better, more effectively?
And for your take tonight, where we hear directly from you, the question is, should the church be invited to be part of the social partnership? Text yes or no to short code 8111. We'll have the answer for you at the end of the news.
Want to look like $1 million without paying that? Well, watch Morning Barbados every weekday morning for your chance to win in the Cave Shepherd and Colombian Emeralds Brands of Summer promotion. Listen and watch closely for brands and collections highlighted by the hosts daily. Then each Friday for the duration of the promotion, we give you Brands of Summer Trivia. Call us with a correct answer and you could be the lucky winner of one of the Brands of Summer. Lauren G. Adams, Michael Kors, Pandora, Voir, Nine West, Clark's, and so much more. All available at Cave Shepherd and Colombian Emeralds International. It's the Brands of Summer promotion on Morning Barbados for those with exquisite tastes.
Barbados will celebrate Emancipation Day on Friday, August 1st under the theme From Bussa to Sir Gary. Celebrations will be in the form of an Emancipation, Freedom and Heritage Walk from the Emancipation Statue, Haggett Hall, and proceed along Government Hill, Tweedside Road, Country Road, Passage Road, Westbury Road and President Kennedy Drive, and then left at the statue of national hero, the Right Excellent Sir Garfield Sobers. Noted historians Maurice Grinnage and Trevor Marshall will give historical overviews during the walk. The walk will continue on to Spring Garden, where an official ceremony will be held at the Bridgetown Craft Market beginning at 6 p.m. with cultural presentations and addresses by Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport, the Honourable Stephen Lashley. Participants are asked to assemble at the Emancipation Statue at 3:30 p.m. for a prompt start at 4. That's the Emancipation, Freedom and Heritage Walk, Friday, August 1st, from Bussa to Sir Gary.
A major private sector agency is very encouraged by the changes made to the municipal solid waste tax, but wants government to go a step further. The Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry says the deadline extension, waiver for pensioners, and discount for farmers were all positive adjustments. Executive Director Lisa Gale says the chamber would, however, like government to implement a system that allows companies to offset the taxes they owe with the tax refunds due to them.
There are some companies that are owed heavy sums of taxes, and in instances where there's a complication as it relates to cash flow, we would expect that the government would give some degree of assistance, and we're asking for there to be an offset of the taxes owed.
As it relates to the economy in general, Ms. Gale says it is a challenging environment.
We have some companies that are holding their own, as has been for quite some time. We also have companies that have not been seeing any profits. And that is impacting on their ability to retain jobs. As you know, we have just seen a very significant drop in employment in the government sector. And that is going to have an impact on the demand. It's going to have an impact on the types of economic activity that occur. And then we talk about investment. Externally, we are not seeing that level of investment that we would have seen within the last 10 years.
Employers are being advised to help facilitate a healthier workforce as one of the ways to improve productivity. The suggestion from David Nealons, former chairperson of the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry's Health and Wellness Committee. He was speaking at the BCCI's awards for its Walk the Talk 100 Days to Wellness initiative. The program involves businesses encouraging their employees to walk as much as possible as part of a healthier lifestyle.
We got to keep doing it because we got to understand that the issue of heart disease, cancer, all of these non-communicable diseases that are so prevalent are affected by how physically fit we actually are. And this is about a recognition of businesses, be they private sector, public sector, that the fit employee, the productive employee, the happy employee is one who's going to enjoy life, is going to work better for their organization.
First place winner was Gail Allen from the TVET Council, while second place went to Johnson John Rose from the Caribbean Tourism Organization. The company whose employees amassed the most steps was Massey Stores. In all, 45 companies with a combined total of over 1,700 staff members participated. More than 150 of those workers qualified for the Million Steps Club. The chief sponsor for the program was Axel Finance. General Manager Ricky Wendt spoke about why it is important for Barbadians to be more mindful of their health.
Imagine this being known as amputation capital of the world. It hurts all of us. And the only way that we're going to be able to do anything about that is doing a little bit more upstream, which is preventive type care and prevention in general. So you'll notice that a program is with you, the participants, setting the example is something to be ambassadors for us to make sure that we can reverse this trend. If we don't do it, as I've said at the earlier presentation, you can see the escalating cost of health care. It's nothing that we're going to be able to cope with at the rate at which it is going.
Despite advancements made by Caribbean women over time, Acting Prime Minister Richard Seeley says there are still several challenges facing them as it relates to politics. He told the opening of the ongoing Commonwealth Parliamentary Association meeting that women face problems with respect to their selection as candidates and election as parliamentary representatives. He says women have moral, human and constitutional rights to elected office.
As enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the Beijing Declaration, and the Platform for Action adopted by the Fourth Conference on Women, the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, the International Convention on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, and the International Conference on Population and Development.
The Royal Barbados Police Force will be saying farewell to one of its members during a funeral service tomorrow. Barton Elvet Pilgrim, a 38-year veteran, died last week. Pilgrim joined the ranks of the force in 1948 before retiring in August 1986 at the rank of senior superintendent. He will be accorded full military honors during a service at St. Thomas Parish Church at 4 p.m. Police are asking the public to help them locate Ainsley DaCosta Brown. The 27-year-old, alias Fabian Jaman or Scruff, who last lived at Draxall St. George, is wanted in connection with serious criminal matters. Brown is about 5 feet 6 inches tall, of black complexion and has brown eyes. He is also wanted for failing to appear in court. Brown is asked to contact, anyone with information regarding Brown's whereabouts is asked to contact the police emergency at 211, the nearest police station, or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-TIPS, that is 1-800-8477. Well, the regional news is just ahead, but first we want to hear from you on the question, should the church be invited to be part of the social partnership? Text yes or no to short code 8111. We'll have the answer for you at the end of the news.
The Parliament of Barbados